So you think there's gonna be a lot of hooking up Mania weekend this year?
Yeah, I think Mania is back.
You
And when Mania is back, that means life is back. And when life is back, that means there's going to be a whole lot of craziness going on.
you heard it here first, folks. Tullo believes that this is gonna be a sloppy Mania. That people are
I
going down to
don't,
Dallas.
I wouldn't say sloppy.
Okay,
I think
a romantic weekend.
maybe hopefully people are responsibly sloppy. Maybe, maybe we can throw responsible. Stupendous.
Yes, it's gonna be stupendously sexual.
Yeah. I honestly think the vibes are going to be great. I think people's energies and connecting for wrestling again. Like this is a big weekend. I
Yeah.
mean, they just where can we just talk about whatever? I mean, like the Sunday card for Mania is just like yowie wowie. I mean, it's tough.
Well,
They're gonna make
I
you
actually,
sit
I'm. That's
like
actually what I'm doing
three
right
and a
now.
half hours to get to that Roman Brock match, which they're calling the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. Why? Dan,
Yeah.
why?
Uh.
Why is it? Look me in the
So,
eyes.
what I
Look me in
think,
the
what?
eyes. Let me look me in the eyes and
Yeah.
seriously explain to me why they are calling this the greatest WrestleMania match of all
Um. Because it's here's why. They're doing it because it's in the biggest stadium, pretty much like the biggest NFL stadium, and it's 2 nights in a row. I think it's actually based on physical size, right? That's why I think. What is there a real reason for that? Is
I'm
there you
just
have an
like,
answer, or you're
why is this the best Mania match ever? Like, of all time. Better than Rock versus Hogan. Better than Stone Cold versus The Rock. Better than anything. Why is this match the greatest match of all time? What makes it the greatest match of all time? We have already seen it at Mania. Roman even said it. He hasn't beat Brock at Mania. And it can't be because they're unifying the titles. That doesn't make a match the greatest match of all time. I mean, it's like,
Yeah, well, it just Vince. You saw him because he was on Pat McAfee's podcast, and he was talking about branding. By the way, this is a Comedians in Wrestling podcast. What up?
yeah,
I'm here with at
what
Tiptoe
up?
with Tulo. We are at the Go Home show, and it's just me and Tulo here at the
Newman
Bro
was
Home
supposed to be
show.
on.
Of Newman was supposed to be on his Tulo was out.
His
His
Tulo was
internet
out.
was out.
Hate
Comedians
when my
Wrestling
Tulo's out.
podcast. Just a couple things I want to get out of the way. We're going in this Thursday, March 31st. Tickets are selling very fast for this. Okay, there are tickets left. Okay, but
Uh-huh.
they're in the double digits, not the triple digits. Okay, and so
Oh,
did I say that right?
there's double digits tickets left, not triple digit tickets
Yes,
left.
that's what I'm saying, folks.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I do this too because like buying tickets, people wait last minute. I'm saying this room's pretty small. So
Yeah.
if you want to come to the show and you're in Dallas after Bloodsport at the same building where Bloodsport is, part of the GCW collective unofficially.
Mhm.
After
Officially.
Bloodsport, before Joey Janela spring break, come get tickets. dzdoesdallas.eventbrite.com. Just get tickets right now.
Let me say,
Um,
as the producer of this show, I will say that, and being a part of these shows since the existence, this is the trend that happens. We sell like more than 50%, close to 75% before, and people just wait, and then
yeah.
next thing you know, they're just gone.
Well, it happens every time somebody tells me, "Shit, I should have got
Here's
my tickets," and so then I'm
here's
just
here's the
trying to tell
problem.
cowheads here. Yeah.
The thing is, Dolph is doing promos with his shirt off about it. So once that starts to happen, that's when the tickets really start to fly.
Do you see the shape
Okay.
Dolph's in right now?
He is in the best shape of his life.
Yeah. So he's like, I don't think he would care that I share this. I don't think he would be upset by this, but he's like, I sent him a picture of him. And then he, in true me fashion, was like, "Oh, I'm looking fucking good right now." Like one of those, like
Yeah.
commenting himself. He's like, "Oh man, my extra fasting and jump roping is really paying off."
What?
So we know that Dolph's doing extra fasts,
Or extra or intermittent fasting? Is he's
intermittent,
probably
but
intermittent.
he fasts a lot. You know, I know he's like a big fast. He's one of the he's a
Shit, I'm
faster.
gonna start jump roping because
Yeah,
I fast.
but jump
So,
rope. What an interesting. He's adding a jump rope.
oh,
So I was like, oh man. So it's funny because I jump rope also. I jump rope
wow,
before my workout.
wow.
Yeah, but I am.
Brutal.
Luckily for me, I'm a little off my game right now, but good because. And Tullo, I'm really excited to have you producing the show. I just want
Thanks,
to
man.
say that
I'm really excited
because
to be producing the show.
it's great. You're doing. We had a call today about the tickets, and I'm glad that we don't have to, rely on outside producers that cuts into our bottom line and whatnot.
Yeah.
That you're now stepping away from the ring. You know what I mean? You kind of like, you didn't say this officially, but you kind of said like, it didn't go your way in Vegas, and you're kind of like, you're just, I don't know. In my mind, I'm trying to be respectful. It's just you're better off producing.
Well,
the
like
show.
I said, to be all honest, we don't even have time for a match. The
Yeah,
card is stacked.
right.
The
There's
card
no
is
time.
stacked.
It's true. There's no time, and also there's no
We would have had to cut
reason. Really.
fucking superstars off in order to do a 30-minute cow match. That's hour and a half. You can barely even. Some of these comedians, they don't get off the stage ever. No matter how many times you're flashing the light out.
Anyway, Tullo, I'm happy to have you producing the show. I'm excited.
Thanks, man. I'm excited. It's my lane. I've seen these shows. I know how they operate. I have had my sleeves rolled up and my hands dirty.
And I think you're up to the challenge. Well, I guess we'll kind of find out. But I think as a producer, it's a great hat for you to wear. And we'll see it at March 31st.
See me at the
Check us
door.
out.
I'm gonna
6
I'll
to 8
be,
p.m.
I'll
at
be
the,
running the door.
Collective in the Fair Park grounds.
Show up early too. Get there at like 5:30. Doors are gonna open early. Come say what's up. Take a picture. I got some stickers on me.
Great. I love that, Tullo. Thank you. Now, I also want to plug patreon.com/comedians wrestling. Come support this podcast. We do it on our own. We truly have been doing this grassroots for a fucking long time. We do it ourselves. Go support the pod. Also, just so you know, there's a new Cal Merch World Order. You get quarterly in that group. You get a piece of merch. It's mailed by Patreon. You don't got to worry about me messing it up. It's mailed to you. And the last thing in that, there's a T-shirt. You can only get it on Patreon with the Sting face. There's a neck gaiter. For the skiers out there, there's a limited edition sticker that's the art of the pod. And then also the last thing you'll get from being in that tier is the Calmania 1 Dan Black versus Adam Letterman official poster made by Laura Morant.
I want to get that framed.
Yeah. Now, I don't even have one. I'm going to have to join my own Patreon, I think, to get it.
We could probably grease the guy.
I emailed them to be like, yo, can I get one? Can I get one of all these things? And they haven't even emailed me back, just so you know. So this is stuff you would get that I won't even have. But anyway, I wanted to reward you guys for that. Also, we started having the guest episodes at the $10 level, one a month. First one's up with Stu's Wood. He was on this week. Stu's Wood was on the pod, so check that out. We promised you that, the creator of the eco-friendly cow title. So support the podcast, all right? So you're saying, why are they calling it the biggest match? I literally just think it's – you saw on Pat McAfee's podcast, Vince was very clear that he's like, I just want things to feel like Mage, essentially, right? Like, he just wants to feel big and this and that. And there's no real, like, rhyme or reason why that match is, like, the biggest match. It's a match that we've seen, like – actually, we've seen it at 3 WrestleManias now, if you want to be if you really want to be specific about it. It's this is my third time flying. Did I fly? I flew to San Francisco. This is my third time flying to see the main event of Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, if you want to know. Just so you don't know how my life's going. But that being said, it is the match. It is their match. I am excited for that match. I'm interested to see what they do with the finish of that. If something like The Rock comes out or there's something there, I think that they have something big in mind for it, And I think we're seeing babyface Brock, and he's in an interesting new zone. So, to be honest, and I think Roman's really, especially on Raw tonight, if you watch him on Raw tonight, cut probably his best promo that I'd seen. And I think that this match, they've done a nice job of getting me into it. They unnecessarily had Brock win the Chamber and the Rumble this year, so the rest of the card suffers.
That's like my biggest gripe, I think,
Right.
more than anything. Because now I'm looking at these cards. They just had Ricochet lose clean.
He lost
Austin
clean to well,
Austin
some people
Theory.
call him Austin Theory, some people know Nick Tullo. Because Austin, you live in Austin and you have a lot of theories. So
Yeah,
in my mind, you're Austin Theory.
I am
Yeah,
Austin Theory.
yeah,
Not someone I really want to be, but
yeah.
for
No,
the bit.
but
I'll be him. I'll be him for the bit.
he's pretending to be Austin Theory. You're actually the Austin Theory. Also, get the Supermark T-shirt, Tullo.
Yo, do you
Supermark
see
Tour
this
T-shirt.
thing? Yo,
The
this thing
T-shirt's
is
fucking
gorgeous.
sick.
So gorgeous, designed by Lauren Moran. I mean,
Tullo's got a T-shirt you can buy. How do they buy it?
yeah. Just go to my link on Instagram at tiptoe or Twitter, and then there's a link tree with and it says merch. You can get stickers too.
Yeah, they have a lot of great merch on there.
Oh
I
man,
gotta
it's
pick up a
amazing.
tee for myself.
It's actually on Lauren
And
Moran's.
now that you're a
Redbubble
producer,
site.
I feel happy to support you. You know that you're
Yeah,
just,
thank you, man.
Yeah,
I'm part of the show. I'm finally got the call up.
should be a good time. Now, all right, yeah. So I don't know.
It's not the greatest match of all time. Like it's just a shtick.
Well, they
Like,
said it's the
just,
biggest, right?
No, the greatest match of all time.
I thought they said it's the biggest.
It's got to be greatest, right?
That's so
on Twitter.
ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. Wait, let's see. Well, I think that they're saying that because the reason is because you get both titles, right?
Yeah,
But you get both titles. You got both
we got
titles
that.
when Daniel Bryan won. You got both
and
titles.
when Becky won.
Right. There's been a lot of title unification matches. You know.
Yeah.
Well, at this point. So anyway, looking at the card here. So, look. The big thing about someone going to Mania, and I'm flying down to Mania. The real question is, which night do you want to be going to? You know,
You're right. It says biggest.
biggest, right? So I think it's like because everything's bigger in Texas.
I'm telling you, someone said greatest. I don't know what the fuck. Maybe I'm just getting worked. I guess I got worked. Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Will Smith's got me all fucking fired up, man.
Man, so
We probably should have started there.
we
before
should
started
start
talking
there,
about
right?
this.
We should start there. You know, I mean, we should start there, but we shouldn't waste too much time on this because it's like there's so much to say. But man, oh man, you know. I don't know where to begin on that whole thing. I don't know where to begin on that whole thing because I have so much to say about it, and I also like. Here's my real when I'm being like truly honest about it. When it happened, I'm gonna be dead honest. Okay, when I first saw it, and then I heard the context, my first thought was confusion. My initial thought was not like, wow, he put hands on him, so now you're wrong. Now, ultimately, you get there. You know what I mean? Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's like, look, somebody said something, and then somebody physically hit somebody. So at the end of the day, we know who's wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? So that's where you get. But my thought is this. Chris Rock made a joke about something that Will Smith is very sensitive about. His wife's medical condition. Okay? So I understand, and this is just me as like a Long Island hothead, you know? I understand being like, I'm gonna go slap this guy. There's cameras on me, and he just made a joke about my wife's like medical condition that I've like held her in my arms crying about it. I understand that. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying I'm talking about understanding.
Is that what happened? Has he said that? Like,
Yes. So the joke he made was that Jada Pinkett.
No, I know, but like
shaved head.
you just said, he was like held her in her arms crying. Is
No.
that different?
I'm saying I'm painting context. I shouldn't add things. But my point is this.
Yeah.
Wait, let me just finish this because I don't want to end on the wrong place.
No, I never heard that, so I thought it was like a fact. I was like, whoa.
I'm saying that I'm sure it's something that I'm sure any woman losing their hair has probably felt pretty fucking bad about that. Men feel my friends are devastated by losing their hair and their men.
I
right?
look at my hairline every day. It gives me.
Well, you
anxiety.
and Rollins are both going.
We're both on.
You
the
see
fast
Rollins
track
going
to-
here? I
Yeah.
can't see yours actually. His is way more prominent than yours. You both have the wings. Yeah, you both have the wings going. Okay.
Go.
So
doesn't help that I wear my hat backwards. But whatever. Go ahead.
you look great. You're a very handsome guy.
Thanks, man.
That's a shoot. But so, Right. So I guess I understand that. I think what I kind of like lose people when they start saying things like, "Oh, he's out of control," and what the hell is like who would ever do that? And you're like, have you never like cared about someone so much and or something that you feel this need to like be reckless or
It's
right?
just so insane. Like
But
I'm
wait,
trying hard to think of a thing that would actually like it almost like it was like he was still sitting in the chair, but like like in what is it called, Doctor Strange, where they hit the soul out, but like it just floated. It
yeah.
was almost like that went up on the stage and slapped Chris Rock, because it's like to lose where you are in the moment to a point to do that. Like he must have immediately after he did it, just like almost like he blacked out, like
Well, so I'm saying is that I've had moments like this in my life. Like
yeah.
they're not often, but where you're like you're overcome with an emotion that you have to like follow, you know what I mean? And it causes you
Mhm.
to be like kind of out of control or whatever. I don't have this I mean, this is not a problem for me at all. No one in my life would be like, that's a problem for me. And there's proof of it because you could watch a guy pour water on me when I'm on stage, and my response is to push him quickly, and then I get my composure and give him a stunner. You know what I mean? So right, like
I mean, you kind of did it. I mean, you
but
literally.
I didn't punch him. You know what I mean?
I know, but you put hands on him and then gave him a stunner, and probably one of the best stunners of all time. Not gonna lie. I mean,
But
I mean, it was.
I pushed him because he was on when I pushed him he's on my stage when I'm
Yeah,
performing.
I
So it's
know.
like that's like if someone came in the ring, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Well, look, again, sure.
It's
I
just
guess
funny. It's
there's
like
a
this.
similarity.
It's a similarity. It's just fun. It's just because it's funny, because it's like kind of what happened. Like
Well, yeah, but okay, but let's give. It's kind of what happened. Okay, so if people don't know, it's like I did a stand-up show. There's a video of it on the Adult Wrestling Fan. Check out
you just posted it.
my stand-up special. It's also on my Instagram at Dan Black Attack, and it's a video of. It is similar, but it's interesting because it's a similar moment in the sense of like something happens that catches you off guard, where someone like. Although this guy poured water on me, which is essentially the same as like touching me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This is a joke. So there are different scenarios in that way, you know? But I
not
obviously,
planned.
right, but it's not an unplanned moment in front of a crowd, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
And in that moment, it's like my mom was in the room, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's very fucking weird because the similarity of the moment is feeling like somebody humiliated you in front of an audience. And that's how probably Will Smith felt. Was like, you're humiliating me and my wife and my family on what's supposed to be a great night for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he felt that. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's how he felt. And he's like, if I do nothing, then I look very weak and I'm not being a classic patriarchal figure in for my family. So the difference is he went up there, slapped him, went back to his seat, and kept saying after, right? He after kept saying, "Keep my wife's mouth name
My
out of your
wife's
mouth."
name.
He name out of your mouth. He kept saying, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth." So that showed me that, like, even after he did it,
Cursing. Cursing. Yeah.
right? So after he felt justified in his actions, you know what I'm saying? So if we're, oh, my point being, I understand because I've had moments in my life, and where you're like I have an ultimate point here. I swear, is where I'm like, okay, you get emotional and you act in a way that that like probably subconsciously later you're gonna regret, but you're like
Hmm.
in the moment this feels like the right thing to do, and you're overcome. Okay. Now Chris Rock told the joke, so that's one side of it. Now Chris Rock told a joke in poor taste, right? Let's argue. Now that being said, it's a GI Jane. It's a GI Jane 2 joke. He said, "Oh, you have a shaved head." Now, he's telling jokes. And he told the joke that let's say it's poor taste because she has a medical condition, and let's say that it's unfunny. What I think is that these situations blow out of control because they do kind of like self-regulate themselves. If everyone could just shut the fuck up and let them happen. Because Will Smith will hit him and he will sit down there. And even when he said, keep my wife's name out of your mouth, He knew that was it. He knew in that moment, like, I fucked up. That was like he was embarrassed. Because when you sit back, you don't look cool. I've had moments like that. You don't look or feel cool after, you know? And so there's an amazing democracy where also the same thing is that if at the same token, if Chris Rock told the joke and they let it just go, it would have just died. And not getting a response to a joke is enough of a punishment, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of this weird thing where I understand I guess my point is just like the world can regulate itself with these actions, you know? And that was my thought. My thought was like, I kind of get
And then he wins
both
the
of
award.
these guys. But
Right?
here's
And
the
then he
thing.
wins.
Chris Rock's joke, I just want to say Chris Rock's joke, but I have to be very clear because I just have to say this as a comedian. I did have a very eerie feeling in my stomach, okay? And this is gonna be very, very dramatic, what I'm gonna say, okay? I had a very eerie feeling in my stomach about this because as a comedian, it feels a little bit now like you're under attack, you know? Like it is like, hey, there's people out there who wanna cut you down for trying to be funny and taking chances, you know? And man, as someone who gets up there and performs and makes myself vulnerable, like I had a set on Friday I didn't feel great about, you know? It didn't even go that poorly, but I didn't feel great about it. It's like, man, if you knew the torture of that, you would let somebody get away, like Will Smith, you would let him get away with his bad G.I. Jane joke, you know?
Yeah.
And that's ultimately where it comes down to. Is like, I know I'm all over the place, but I'm just putting myself in both shoes. That's what I always do. I like to like rabbi the situations, as Jon Stewart said. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, it's like, dude, Will Smith, he showed me truly what I've always known about Will Smith. And it's very weird because I was talking about Will Smith the morning this happened. Me and Christina were talking, and I was explaining how I feel about Will Smith, and I don't know why, you know? And then this happened.
Oscars talk, you know.
No, I didn't even know the Oscars were yesterday. I didn't know.
Actually no idea the Oscars.
I had no
were
idea.
yesterday.
I didn't even know he was nominated either. I hadn't seen any of these movies, you know? I used to care about the Oscars. We're just post-pandemic, whatever. Will Smith is a truly lame guy. That's what it comes down to me. And I felt it for so long. I don't like the projects he chooses. I don't like the projects he makes. I've always felt like he's not funny, you know?
I've heard King Richard's like dope.
Yeah, I
didn't watch it.
I didn't see that. Sure, it's great. He won the Oscar. He's very, 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 very talented. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that. I just think he's lame. There's tons of people who are talented and just kind of lame, you know? At the end of the day, you tell a joke like that and you can't take it seriously. It shows me you also don't really understand comedy. That, like, you're part of this people who, like, sees a comedian up there and doesn't understand that comedy are people trying to make jokes. And you should have some fucking levity. It's almost as simple as that. And if they're your expense, it's because probably you're high fucking status. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I don't know. It was pretty scary to me because, you know, this is where it gets really extreme. But I had a combo with a guy that we went to high school with after the Charlie Hebdo shootings. Okay. Now this was in France where they drew Allah, I believe, in their magazine. It's a satire magazine, you know? And an Islamic man came into their offices with a semi-automatic weapon and killed the entire team. Okay? For making a joke, right? Now, it's the equivalent if they went into the South Park offices, right? It's the same exact thing. They do all the same stuff. And this is just a microcosm of that for me, you know? I know that's a huge leap, but it's just where my brain went immediately because I do this stuff, you know? And I guess it's like, I don't think people understand what comedy means to people who do comedy. And I'm not saying every comedian is this way, but we're not normal people, you know? Like, the way we cope is with some level of it's all funny. There's some level of Joker in us, you know? And so I just think it's like it's the age of comedians and what they do being misunderstood, even though everyone understands it's so difficult. Anyone will say, I could never do that. Like, I don't know how you do that. But at the same time, give comedians no benefit of the doubt anymore.
It's like one of those things that takes over your brain, and you just keep thinking about it, and then you just think about so many different layers of it. There's so many layers to this. Like, honestly, the crazy part about it, one of the crazy things that no one's talking about is that like people were like laughing after he slapped them, like they didn't have any idea what going on. My favorite thing about the whole thing is that some people think it's fake. So it's like so perfectly synced with wrestling. Like that's where wrestling Twitter and like wrestling memes of all that stuff, like it just goes hand in hand with what professional wrestling is. It's just like to the point like where everybody just got so lost in what just happened. Your brain doesn't even know how to think. Like I'm watching that. Imagine if Chris like swung back, because you saw for a second after he got hit, he was like, what's next?
The weird thing is that Chris is more like me in that scenario, even though when I got the water poured on me, even though it feels more like the reverse, right?
Yeah.
Because something happened to me and I had to react, right? One person's reactive, one person's proactive, right?
Yeah, like
so
if Chris would have hit him with a stunner, what a fucking response.
So Chris, here's the deal. Chris, and I will tie this into wrestling right now, and I see where your point is, but Chris really held back in that moment. You saw. But the stuff that he would have went in on Will Smith would have made this situation way worse, okay? Because Will Smith, let's just say there's a lot of stuff. People in Hollywood know a lot of stuff about Will Smith that's unspoken,
That's spoken.
And it's spoken and unspoken, right? I mean, and he didn't go there, and he said, hey, all right, and I'm just going to and he was the bigger man, like in every way. I mean, a total pro. And, look.
The show goes on.
If those two guys really wanted to make a difference, if they really, 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 really wanted to make everyone go, like, put a smile on people's fucking faces, they would wrestle on Sunday. Okay? Like, I mean, I'm not even fucking kidding. Like, if you really want to show everybody that it's all fucking fun and games, you know what I mean?
Instead, we're going to get a 3-part series documentary on fucking Netflix that we're all gonna have to watch. I mean, you're so right.
It's like, can you imagine if people were like, wow, they're doing it, and then everyone was like, man, these guys really had a moment, and then they turned it into something fun and funny. You know what I mean? And then, but obviously these guys don't get, they're not going to get wrestling the way we do. But holy shit, shout out to all the marks who immediately put that WrestleMania poster together. Was it faster? It couldn't have been fast enough.
What was like your favorite one that you saw of him slapping Chris Rock? Mine was it was Mr. Perfect on
oh yeah, the gum.
Will Smith and gum on Chris Rock.
I think that I actually I
saw so many.
I said this I said this on my Instagram, by the way. Another thing, and I mean this. This is not about memes per se, but I did have a thought, which was like, what I feel about Will Smith? Why he's so lame to me? It's like just the fact that he slapped him is so lame to me. Like I know that's where I'm such a fucked up like frat bro, but like if you're gonna get up there and do the thing, a slap implies you're holding back. Right? And so
which honestly makes a lot of sense, because if he would have punched him, he might have just with that force, could have just knocked him out cold.
Well, Chris Rock, if you see it, he knocked him out. It'd be insane.
I mean, now we're like, holy shit, he just knocked him out. I mean,
yeah. But it
was like the slap is like telegraphed. The slap is to deliver what it was meant, like disrespect, like keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I know,
but slapped him in the mouth.
Yeah, but a slap is so lame to me. Like a slap, I'd rather a slap so lame.
But like,
I'm just saying it's lame. I said it's the equivalent of having a cigar in your mouth for the look and not lighting it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the
That's
most
a
Will
fucking.
Smith shit. Not cursing in your
Hey,
raps. It's
look,
like
I don't
Will
light it.
Smith is he's tough to the point of actually being a classic tough guy. And unfortunately for me, I'm plagued with toxic masculinity. Like I want full punches. You know what I mean? And so
Like you're the
that's why
kind
I'm
of
saying,
guy that like when you getting jiggy, it makes it feel like foreplay, right?
yeah, man. Well, his cardio's infinite. I mean, people need to know this. So, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. Listen, I'm more of a Robin Williams genie, you know? And, you know what I mean? Listen, when it comes out to but that's the thing. Look, Will Smith, I'm sure he's sorry for that. I can relate to moments like that where you're like, you know, the next day you're kind of like, man, that was so fucking stupid of me. You know, I say things on here where I go, that's so stupid of me. But if you guys knew, it's just like, I feel like we were heading in a pretty good direction, and that really weirdly set us back pretty far. You know, for so many reasons. And you can be like, it's so stupid. Why is everyone talking about it? But the reality of the situation is that it did matter, because we were the
Yeah, like how
Oscars.
does here's my thing. Here's the thing that's been popping up. It's like, how does Chris Rock do comedy after that? Like I said a joke and it got me slapped in the
I
face.
mean,
Like,
he'll
you
he'll
know, like
he'll do comedy. He's
he'll
gonna do
never
a
host again, right? Because he can't make a joke about anybody in the crowd, right? Or like
no, no, he will. He can't. I don't
he
think he's
could
that.
host and it would be
I
the
don't think he's
greatest thing
that
of all
thrown.
time.
I don't think he's gonna be like mentally thrown off by that. I think
I
Will
mean, if he
Smith's more of
comes
a guy
back
who would get
next,
mentally thrown off by it. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what the Oscars will do? The Oscars will have Will and fucking Chris Rock host it next year.
yeah, they'll do something like funny about it. But like, I don't know. I didn't see Chris Rock talk about it today, did he? I saw Will Smith say an apology. You know?
I haven't ain't nobody asking how's Chris doing.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm
Or
Chris Rock, I'm pretty fucking pissed off. You know, I saw he declined to press charges, but what I'm saying is that the Oscars were under like tremendous scrutiny a couple years ago. You know, and you know, it
man,
felt like, oh,
they
we're back.
hijacked
We're having the
WrestleMania now.
we're having the Oscars back. You know, and then to have this overshadow it is so fucking weird. And then here's what's really strange is when you see a violent act happen on TV, and then you see that there's actually no repercussions to it,
That's
and
what
then
I'm
you see everybody
saying.
clap for him at the end, you know,
Better watch what you
it's
say this weekend. You never know who might just fucking slap you in the mouth. Like, I mean, it's not crazy to think that. Like, honestly,
well,
like,
Tullo.
and it's
But my point I'm making is that when he wins the Oscar and everyone's up there clapping for him, right?
wild. It's like
It's like you're like, but he just assaulted somebody, you know. Like, I mean, I I hate to be the guy. It's like, all right, like I don't want to be like, oh, he's got to get arrested. I don't know, whatever. He slapped him. It's like whatever. I kind of also believe we should be able to slap each other without the law involved, you know. So I don't know, who knows. But at the same time, it's like I'm all over the place with this. But it's still like applauding a
that's what
guy
I'm
who like,
saying.
and then
It's the
you
most
know,
all over the place
I
reactions.
could not help but feel like this thing that like bad behavior is always rewarded. That's the feeling I had. Is like the feeling I have is that it's like, but ultimately it's not because Will Smith, who has had like 30 years in this business as being like the nice guy and like the good guy and cool and Mr. Positivity, which always reads as, you know, Mr. Positive is always like that. On his big night of winning the Oscar, you know what I mean? That's what he did. I mean, like, you know what? If he doesn't feel like he ruined that night, well, then he's like a psycho. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he can go to sleep at night being like, well, I won the Oscar and I'm proud of myself, like, I don't know how you're even like a father at that point. You know what I mean? I would be so upset with myself. I probably wouldn't even recover. It would be like the people who like drop the bomb, the nuclear bomb on like, you know, because with from orders and then they end up committing suicide for me. You know, I just be like, boy, oh boy, did I just tank my huge moment? You know, so there's a lot to say about it. And that's why it's interesting about wrestling because wrestling's all about moments, baby.
It
And
really
wrestling's all
is.
about manufacturing moments.
That's
Woo!
pretty much what they unsuccessfully achieve at
I
WWE.
I think the other thing about this thing, I have one more thought. The other element of this that's really interesting is like you want to say, who cares? It's just two like rich guys smacking each other, right?
Yeah.
That's it's just not true. This was kind of culturally significant in this time, you know? And so it kind of got the attention that it fucking deserved, you know?
Think about like how much awful shit people say to other people on Twitter and they just get away with it. But if you were just to smack them in the face, they probably stop, right?
Yeah.
If every time you type something on Twitter like horrible, just Will Smith smacked you in the face, I think eventually you would fucking stop, right?
Right. Yeah, but do, I don't you also find the reaction of like the like clutching your pearls kind of reaction also really interesting? People who are like, "Oh my god," like that.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
also
saying.
think that's really interesting too. It's like I don't have
There's
that at all. I go like, "Oh shit," you know.
I don't know. Like my brain goes in like 100 different ways with
I know.
this. Like it didn't. It just
It was terrible.
it's chaos. It's chaos.
It was
It
terrible.
just caused chaos.
There's
And the
nothing.
last thing we needed was more chaos.
The
We
only
need less
good
chaos.
that will come out of this, in my mind, is I think people understand like we gotta fucking relax on comedians. Like we gotta like comedians, be
Man,
funny.
if you just went up there and like patted him on the head, like, "Hey, little guy," or something like that, or like pointed at his hairline and got him back and walked off, or like
Jerry Seinfeld says that comedy is like the great democracy because he's like, you can go up there and you like, they don't laugh at you, right? Like when you're up there. So I don't think anyone thought a G.I. Jane 2 joke. Like people don't even know what that is. It's like a dated reference. I bet when Chris Rock said it, he goes, "Oh, what a terrible joke I just said." Like I was cuffing, I was all going off the cuff. That sucks. I said such a bad joke at the Oscars. You know what I mean?
He was like laughing when Will came up on stage, right? Like
Yeah.
he was like, "All right, Will's coming up." Like
Yeah, because he was like, he's
Probably
probably
gonna-
gonna like fake punch him and then hug him and be like, "That's funny" or something, because he's Will Smith. But instead, we saw, a side of Will Smith that, I don't know. I think it's a side of Will Smith a lot of people knew existed. Is a lot, or they claim to. Anyway, who fucking knows? Listen,
they
bottom line,
hijacked the
forgive
WrestleMania
this.
talk.
If Chris Rock said, "Yo, I forgive Will. I had a talk with him," then it's all good. We all fucking have bad moments. We gotta forgive each other. We gotta blah blah blah. But you know what I mean? The slaps just always the slap. I would never be caught dead slapping somebody. Like I just feel like
Thanksgiving, bro.
I slapped. No, I mean, if I was angry and being like an angry slap doesn't look cool. You know?
It's like slapping a
Yo,
relative at like
a spear
at
would have been
Thanksgiving
money.
dinner.
A spear would have been the move. A spear would have
man,
been so
imagine if he
money.
speared him
A spear would have been so money.
and put him in a sharpshooter.
Because it was a big walk he did. He should have speared him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was like an Undertaker entrance walk, bro.
But anyway,
Ba-na-na-na-na,
that was all my thoughts on that. I don't know.
Yo,
I don't think.
what-
I think
all right.
everyone. There's both of these guys are both still allowed to have careers. It's all fucking good, and that's it. At the end of the day, the most interesting thing is that none of these movies were seen by anybody. I mean, not right? Do you know what movie won Best Picture?
Yes,
What
Coda.
is- Did you see it?
No.
Do you know what it's
I
about?
like to- I know it won a lot of awards and has a lot to do with sign language. Because best supporting actor was a guy who used sign language, and he gave.
I
some
didn't
speech
even
in
know that.
sign.
I didn't watch the Oscars, so I don't know. I didn't
You know
see
what was
that movie.
interesting? I will say something about this. He was giving his speech, and the person speaking for him wasn't on stage, and you could hear him getting emotional speaking for him. So I don't know who gave the speech, but it was I was like getting choked up from it.
The guy who made Kona was signing. I didn't see the Oscars. I didn't even know what. I
No,
didn't
the guy who the
I
best
saw
supporting
Coda
actor,
like 2 minutes ago.
the best supporting
as a
actor.
picture.
I want to say he's deaf. The best supporting actor is a deaf actor, and he signed the whole entire movie. Like, and then he won for best supporting actor, and then signed his acceptance speech. But they had someone speaking for him, and that guy, when speaking the speech, was getting emotional, interpreting speech for him.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Very beautiful moment. So
Yeah, that's
while
awesome.
there was chaos, there was also beauty.
Yeah,
Pretty
Woo.
much my life. Okay, so here's a question. Over under
Yeah,
Roman Reigns' entrance on Sunday night. How many minutes? Like what? Like
this is my
6
kind
and a
of
half?
talk. This is my kind of talk.
What do you think the line is on that? Let's set a line. Because tonight he came out on Raw, and
Yeah.
I can actually rewind it. I'm pretty sure it was like 5 minutes long.
I'm gonna say that his walk to the ring is 5 full minutes.
So over under 5. You think it's gonna be over 5 minutes?
Over. I'm going over 5.
Right. So I think your line's a little flawed. So let's keep talking about it.
And you're
but
gonna keep that up?
I'm gonna see what
Should I get the timer going?
I'm gonna just fast forward because I can see when it starts and then when it goes.
All right.
Technology, man, it's amazing. You know they have timestamps.
Yo, technology. What is it?
Okay, so this night 2 card is tough, man.
Well, by the way, I'm flying.
what is
Spirit
Edge
Airlines.
doing? Yeah,
I have
Oh
to
my
fly.
God,
It was the only thing I could fly, and I'm kind of like actively anti-Spirit Airlines.
yeah,
You know,
it's horrible. It's the worst thing.
and they're
ever.
like sending me emails being like, "Well, you haven't chosen your seat yet, because right, I gotta pay to like do everything, right?"
yeah.
Oh my god. Anyway, so let's look at these cards. I mean, so people are saying you were talking shit about this Sunday card. Let's look at it though. All right, the first match is the women's tag match. I don't think anyone cares about that, right? Tullo, are you anticipating?
No one cares about it. No one cares about it.
Okay, then it's Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn, which
The women's tag match.
I do care about that.
I do care about the women's tag match because I like the fact that they found a unique way to build 4 tag teams and make that match matter.
I don't.
It
care
should
about
be a ladder match. It should be a ladder match.
That would make it cool, right? I mean, that's gonna be something I was gonna point out.
That should be a ladder match.
This WrestleMania has no ladders and no cages. We have one anything goes match between Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn. So that's Sunday, Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn. Now, I'll say this. I'll watch that. I think that'll be fun, right? Like it's kind of like a Jackass the wrestling match, which is kind of like a fun idea, I think. I mean, would I ever think to do this? No, but the fact that they're giving it to us, I'm like, all right. You know, I'll watch that. If I'm there and I get to see Johnny Knoxville, it's gonna be stupid enough to enjoy. You know. Then it goes into.
Yeah, I mean, it just like, what's the point of it at the end of the day? Just gimmick, right? Like,
it goes into Pat McAfee, but just the Sunday card. It goes from Johnny Knoxville match. Then it goes into Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory.
I mean, that's not going to be the order. Like the order is TBD.
Yeah, the order is TBD. But then
they had Austin Theory beat Ricochet tonight clean. He's the Intercontinental Champion on Raw.
There's no Intercontinental Championship match on Mania.
No U.S. title match either.
It's crazy.
And they have Ricochet and Finn Balor holding those titles, and they don't even want to put those two like in a match together, like versus each other.
I know. Why not? That's nuts. That no Finn Balor.
Imagine Ricochet versus Finn Balor. Come on.
Why don't they go? What I would have done is I would have had Ricochet. I would have had Ricochet versus like Jeff Hardy if he was still there. That would have been a match I would have booked.
Ricochet versus AJ Styles for the
have
IC
Jeff Hardy
title.
like jump off the Titantron again or something.
I mean, what is Edge doing? What is he doing?
And I don't think anyone has any idea what AJ Styles is up to. I mean,
AJ's legit confused. He's like, I don't get this guy. He's like, well, I don't even know why he's mad at me.
It's a match you think it's a match they said it's a dream match, and I said it's a match we'll have. And then now it's a match. Now it's a match that would have been cool if Edge was just doing Edge, right? I'd rather see Edge just be like rated R superstar, regular Edge. I appreciate he's going for something, but it's so they don't give. Look, we talk about this every fucking year. They don't give any story. That being said, okay, that's really what I want to talk about because we'll finish up this card for Sunday because I want to focus on the build of these matches because I would argue that the build for these matches this year is actually better than normal. It's a lot of matches you don't care about, but some of it's better than normal, okay? And I'm going to So you have matches like this. They have Edge versus AJ Styles and Bobby Lashley versus Omos, and that literally Bobby Lashley almost was announced on Raw tonight for Saturday Sunday. Okay,
Go home show. We
it's
had to
a
find almost a challenger at fucking Mania, so we had him squash 3/4 of the talent, and he'll
But
be in the Battle Royal on Friday.
to be fair, I think it's probably Bobby wasn't healthy, and then last minute he got cleared. Right, he looks a lot smaller. Bobby still huge, but he's not in his like crazy shape. He's had shoulder surgery, right? Or he
Like I
got
said, I think he watched like a couple like Rock like entrances or promos because he was giving off like big time Rock vibes like coming out.
well, because they're doing like a quick Bobby baby turn, right,
Yeah,
for this match. So
which I'm
Bobby
here
was
for.
like walking way faster and way more like athletic and fluid. Like he was trying to look more like the all
Yeah,
American like good guy.
doing the it was like the Lex Luger Yokozuna kind of thing, you know,
Yeah.
like he was. They should bring him in on a helicopter for sure.
But that being said, Lashley almost is a match. I'll watch that because Bobby can like really pick him up and shit. No, you don't think that's a cool match? Like it has no build at all.
WrestleMania, Lashley versus Omos.
Yeah.
That's what you want to be watching.
Why? Almost is like a spectacle. I think that's fucking cool. I think almost Braun Strowman would have been a cool Mania match if Strowman was still there. No? What are you laughing at? You don't think? I think Lashley almost is a cool Mania match.
Because I gotta sit here and listen to you talk so much fucking shit about Adam Cole, every fucking thing. I gotta read text message. Baron Corbin or Adam Cole?
Who's a better wrestler? I want to put this
Okay.
question out there, everybody. Who's better, Baron Corbin or Adam Cole? Now, keep in mind that Baron Corbin has the shittiest gimmick ever, Happy Corbin, that he is written for him by Vince McMahon, and Adam
Wesley
Cole has
Drew.
full creative. He's got full creative freedom. Okay, and he still dresses. We have who are you more into? If I could start a poll right now, all right, Happy Corbin or Halo Cole? I mean,
But I got my point is I gotta sit here and listen and be like, why? Almost is a spectacle. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is
He's huge.
WrestleMania, bro. This is WrestleMania.
He's huge.
And the Intercontinental title has zero significance.
Well,
The US
that would have
title
been a cool
has
match.
Zero significance.
Almost Ricochet for the IC title.
Perfect.
That would have been really fun.
Perfect. You could sell T-shirts of that match.
A skunk, right? A skunk sprayed like under my house or something.
Maybe someone's just smoking a ton of weed by you.
No, it's
They're
not weed, right?
Stressed about gas prices.
Christina, is that weed? That's skunk.
Y'all got skunks out there in Los Angeles?
I don't think it's. It's so skunky in my house right now.
You'll be spending the weekend with me in Dallas. You could and then just remember that smell and then compare it to the
No,
smell.
I know what weed smells like. Okay, I wasn't born yesterday, folks. But that being said, Bobby Lashley almost. I don't hate that match. It's just the fact that I don't like that they build it on Raw with no,
Well, I mean, technically, if you want to talk about it, almost has been winning like all of his
Right.
matches. They built he's undefeated. They like.
But that's every story. Every
I know.
story has been like they don't have anything, so here is something, right? Like
Edge didn't have anything. Seth didn't have anything.
Right.
Kevin Owens didn't have anything.
This is why the AEW is so superior. It's for one reason only. It's not even talent based because we all know that Baron Corbin's a better wrestler than we all want Happy Corbin over Halo Cole. But look,
Halo Cole sounds like like an ice cream flavor.
Halo Cole is so funny. The Master Queef, But see, this is look. Look. Actually, should I watch that Halo TV show? Looks pretty cool.
It sure does, bud.
I'm gonna watch that. I love Halo, the video game, by the way. I just don't like when wrestlers cosplay. Okay. What was I talking about?
Bobby Lashley and Omos.
My house reeks of skunk. Like
That's
max skunk. This is terrible. Like I'm not even overstating.
You might have like a dead skunk under your house, or maybe one of your dogs got sprayed. Smell your dog.
My dogs aren't here.
Yeah, so that's not your dog. Maybe Christina got sprayed.
Maybe. Anyway, all right, okay. So I agree. But
Let's look at night one though. Like
night one has Becky Lynch, Bianca,
Yeah, love that.
Rey Mysterio, and Dom Mysterio versus Miz and Logan Paul. Which, by the
I'm
way,
going.
they kind of got me into that on
Oh
Raw.
my god, I'm going to pee and buy some merch and get a fucking chicken tenders
Wait,
and
but
fries.
it's two of your guys in that match.
Yeah,
Just
come
do
on,
it.
bro. No,
I did it. Just do it.
no,
Just do
it's
it.
not.
Just do it. Do it. Do it.
I want you to
Execute.
do it. I want you to do it. I want you to do it.
86. Do it.
Hit
Hit me.
86.
Hit me.
86
Hit me.
Dominic off your list.
There's no way Dom Mysterio is one of your guys, and I'll allow you to say it whenever you want. Okay, I'll allow you to say it whenever you want, but there's no way. There's just no way. Now that being said, maybe at Mania he comes out with the mask on, and it'll be kind of cool, right?
Where he turns on his dad.
That would be kind of cool, and then he starts making out with his sister, and no, that's disgusting.
There you go.
Can
See?
you imagine? That's such Vincian shit, right?
Here comes Dominic walking up the stage. Boom, slaps Dan.
Oh, I mean, first off, that's the difference between me and Chris Rock is that I'm always ready. Okay, I think everything's a scam,
You're
and I think
Zack
everyone's
Ryder.
gonna hit me.
You're Matt Cardona.
People are like with cats. You know, if I'm around a cat, I'm always waiting for them to strike.
Yeah.
Okay, the cats are always looking to strike. Now, what I'm saying about AEW makes it a far superior product. It's one thing, and WWE should just copy it. It's just the fucking rating, the records, the win-loss records.
Yeah.
Like
they
if you
can't
go
even-
into Mania, all you have to do is go, look at their record, and then you're like, oh shit, like that's cool. Those two like are undefeated this year. You know?
Yeah, it's almost too easy.
Yeah.
It's right there for them.
It's like it's the number one awesome thing about AEW. It's how they make every week count. Is because the base reality of sports exists.
Like
It's
just
like
adding.
they'll just be like randomly. They're like Dante Martin. Like they'll just randomly tell me like
was the
Dante
number one
Martin
person.
has like 10 wins in a row, and now he has a title shot. And I'm like, oh, awesome. You know?
Yeah. It was like the littlest thing was like Layla Hirsch versus Red Velvet was
Right.
like a 3-4 match. You
Right.
know, and they just said that, and you're like, oh, all right, here we go. It makes you like more like, oh, this is a big outcome for one of these two wrestlers. You know?
Yeah. You know what I could do without? It's kind of like cosplay, but I don't need. Why does because the Mania's in Dallas? Why do they gotta have the Cowboys star? You know, is that a Texas thing or is that a Cowboys
It's in
thing?
the arena. I mean,
Yeah, right.
Jerry Jones owns the world.
I know, but it's like
They're in
like
Jerry World.
it undersells like wrestling. Like
Stars on the flag.
it makes
doesn't-
NFL seem more important than wrestling.
No,
which-
just branding, bro. It makes the WrestleMania logo stand out from the other ones. You see that logo, you go, that one was in Dallas.
I know. I get why you do it. I'd probably be convinced to do it, but like when it's like
Well,
a
they had the
pirate
Statue of
logo,
Liberty thing. They had the Statue of Liberty thing for New York.
that's different because that's a monument of the place. Is a star? I guess it's the Lone Star, but it's the Cowboy Star.
Lone Star State. It's in the flag.
All right,
what are you
but-
talking. I'm just going hard for Texas right now as
Yeah,
a
but-
11th living in this fucking city for this state for
I,
fucking.
I'm a big Texas mark.
10
Don't,
months.
I love Texas. So like I actually I don't shit on Texas. I don't give a shit that it's the most that no one has health insurance in Texas. It's the least insured state and blah. No, Texas got a lot. Their power grid's a piece of shit that they refuse to join the federal grid and blah blah blah. No, it's fine.
Love that.
I really do love Texas. I have a lot of friends down there. And I also don't like taxes. So that's not it's nice. So
Right.
it's fine. Especially you live in Austin. I'll show you why you're being taxed a lot more than you think. But so the star is the navy blue star. That's Cowboy Star. That's not on the flag, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So that's just whatever. Who cares? It's a version of cosplay. I'll never like it. Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. This match,
Don't even
Jesus
waste it.
Christ.
Just
This
go.
match is so. But that being said, Christina was like, I like this. McIntyre comes out and she's like, I like that guy. Like, that guy seems cool.
Yeah, he's a pro wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
But I'm saying, like-
he's a WWE superstar.
He's WWE superstar totally. And, like, I wouldn't have minded, like, a Rollins McIntyre build to Mania, like something like that. There's stuff to do with him, Anyway.
Yeah.
This match is hilarious because it's Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin with Madcap Moss, but on Raw, he wrestled in a handicap match against both of them. So the match at Mania is a de-heightening, right? It's less.
They
You know
did
what I
that
mean?
like they did like RK Bro closed off the show by just
Yeah.
giving like Street Profits like 6 RKOs.
Right.
You know, like it's just like, why are you doing this right now? Like, you know, like what they like every match had something that you like. You had fucking the Mysterios and Logan Paul going off. It's like it didn't really build. It kind of
Yeah.
like de-heightened everything. It's like, oh, I'm seeing a lot of what's gonna happen this weekend.
Riddle's another guy who Christina's like, that guy's very good at wrestling, you know? Like, I'm just saying, just when it's on, I always think it's very interesting. I mean, Matt Riddle is fucking good, and he has adapted to the main roster in the way that I expected he would.
Yeah, it
he
also
did.
doesn't help being next to Randy Orton and Randy Orton buying into being a face. And
I mean,
like,
he's getting
gimmick.
quite the rub by Randy, right?
Oh, huge.
I mean, this is literally, this match is such a waste of Randy Orton at a Mania at that age. Like,
Yeah,
it's
like
going to be cool because he's clearly going to turn on Riddle, and then you'll set up for that feud, which is going to be very fun and a long term.
Riddle's the type of guy that he won Randy over by being
Right.
like, hey, Randy, I heard you used to put your dick in your hand and ask wrestlers to shake it. How about I just put your dick in my hand? Ha. And then Randy's like, I like this guy. Can we make our tag team with the stoner? That's how it went down. It had to have. Just no soul.
Well, he's like fucking
shit.
Spicoli or whatever, you know?
By the way, the 5-minute number on the Roman Reigns entrance, I think, is a good better metric because he went off at like 3.5 on Raw. So you got to add in the WrestleMania fact. I think 5 minutes. That's gonna be fun you have to record that when you do it.
Do what?
The 5-minute WrestleMania Roman Reigns entrance is a good number.
Oh, really?
Because he was like at around like 3.5 or so on
Right.
Raw tonight. So you add in the Mania entrance being a little bit longer.
I don't think Sunday's way worse than Saturday, except for that Saturday does have what I believe will be the match of the weekend, which
Rollins
is I'm just
and
jumping
mystery
to it,
opponent.
which is Rollins versus Cody.
And KO Stone Cold are on Saturday too.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a better night. It's
Okay,
a way
so
better night.
I want to just be positive.
Ronda,
So,
Charlotte.
Tullo, let me just be positive, okay?
Yeah.
I'm being
positive.
I know.
I'm positive.
I want to be positive because I want to say this.
I'm positive.
I want to tell you this. I'm fully into WrestleMania. It's not just because I'm going. Okay. All right.
I'm not.
Kevin
It's
Owens.
fine.
I'm not into it in the sense like
I'm into WrestleMania cause I'm going.
I'm gonna be more into the Dynamite I'm gonna see at the Forum in June.
Yeah.
In terms of like a pure wrestling standpoint,
Yeah.
right? But from the spectacle that is WrestleMania, there was some really in this build. They were not all given much, but some talent really stepped up. And I think I want to give props to good talent right now. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I want to give props to the guy who I think has done such good work leading up to this Mania with such shit. It is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was so good on the mic on Raw tonight. When he was like, I hate beer, that was so funny. Saying I don't, that beer is disgusting.
Once, I've said it a million times, Dan.
Yeah.
If I said it once, I said it a million times. You know it. Kevin Owens is a national treasure. The guy understands the assignment.
Talk about
He
a shirt
goes
I'm buying.
Kevin Owens is a national treasure?
No. Kevin Owens and Stone Cold is the KO Mania 6 or whatever, you know?
I'm going to
him
the merch
and
stand.
Stone Cold
I'm
on the
getting
same shirt?
I'm getting
Oh,
that
my
t-shirt
God.
at the stand. I might get it before I go into the arena because they usually have those merch stands in the parking lot.
I think it sucks that they're unifying the titles. I kind of wish there was 2 title matches, right? And I wish we had AJ Rollins for the title, you know, the other title.
I wish we. I mean, if they're gonna do last second matches, they should just be like, here you go. Put Ricochet and Finn Balor in the Battle Royal on Friday and have them eliminate each other at and then that is a match on Saturday. Whatever, give it to me.
It's like so.
All right, give props, more props.
All right, more props. Okay.
More props.
Okay. the Seth Rollins build was really fucking fun. I have some
Yeah.
criticisms.
You did
I
a
have
180 pretty quick.
I have some criticisms of Seth Rollins that I'll stick with. Like, so they put out that video of him going to talk to Vince, and it's just, you know, it's like it's poorly written, and and I think Seth is so cartoony right now with the laughing. It's a little much for me.
Hot take.
You
I
have a
just
hot
don't
take?
think. Yeah, I don't think Vince is any good at what he does anymore.
I don't think it's a hot take. I think everybody thinks that. That's a very
Like,
cold take, right?
you expect Vince like in that situation, like
Yeah.
to be his Vince, and he's like old man Vince now. I guess it's a new iteration of Vince. Like he's just unbothered. Like he's bothered, the most unbothered, bothered person, I guess.
He's kind of like the
All right, keep
guy
going.
who runs the company now, right? It's
Mhm.
like a little bit of like, as opposed to like the big, larger than
He
life
looked
Vince
at the
McMahon.
numbers. He's like, this makes sense. We have to have like Seth and
Yeah, it's
Mania.
like
All right, I'll
accountant
give you a
Vince
match.
or whatever,
Yeah,
like Booker Vince or something.
that's kind of how he's really running WWE right now. So it makes sense.
It's so, yeah. But that being said, Seth flipped out at the end of Raw on Monday, and I love the build of like we all knew like he's got a meeting with Vince McMahon. And I knew that on like Saturday, and I like that it happened. I like that it happened not on Raw. I thought it was cool that it's happening like sports, where like meetings happening between the shows. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
like I think that's cool. But then the meeting was like not like he wasn't like, oh, he's like, I'm just gonna choose somebody. And man, oh man, it worries me about this Cody run, because Cody came in with so much leverage, and and the fact that he couldn't tell this story like at all slickly. I know that they were negotiating his contract and stuff. It's just to be like, oh, it's gonna be Cody, because he said you have to have a main event. You know,
Yeah. So what is like? What does
it
that
didn't make
mean?
any sense. It doesn't make any
How
sense.
can you have another main event if we already have two main events already established, right?
Yeah, and it feels like what's just gonna happen is kind of Seth,
Imagine if he
and
puts them on as the main event of the pre-show.
no, the Seth Cody. It's clearly gonna happen. They're gonna wrestle, and they're gonna just have a cool match, and Cody will win, and that's gonna be really it. Like he's gonna establish that he's
I,
there, and that's cool.
I,
But what I'm
I
saying is,
really hope they do the
Seth,
Triple H thing.
I, that's cool. But I want to say,
Okay, go.
the way Seth is acting takes away from the Cody debut for me, because he's not like, I'm looking for an opponent to wrestle because I'm the best wrestler, and that's what I think you
Yeah, good
need for
call.
Cody. He's coming in like,
Uh,
I'm crazy and I just want to be on WrestleMania. You know what I mean? And like, and I'm nuts. It's like you need, because Cody's whole thing is coming from being like in a real wrestling company. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
Seth feels like the guy who they never were able to get or whatever, like him and AJ or whatever. So it's like he's, I would have written it like, I would have had Seth being like, there's no
Unless
one for me to
Cody
wrestle.
comes in,
There's no
unless
good
Cody
enough
comes,
talent. I would have Seth
yeah,
turn down matches, right? Like he'd be turning down matches.
yeah. Unless they have Cody come in and just like be like, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have a match on WrestleMania right now. Like, I think that's the way to go. He's like, if I don't show up, if I don't sign this contract, you don't get this opportunity. Like, that's it. Like, there it is. And then
Now,
that like pisses Seth off beyond, you know?
totally. I think that that being said, let's just have fun with it, because Seth had a good flip out moment there, and it's a bummer that we all have to. This is so telegraphed. You know what I mean? It just
Mhm.
kind of like made, we were all gonna put it together no matter what, because Seth would never not have a match on WrestleMania. If he's
Also, at the
healthy in
same
there.
time, very untelegraphed because we never saw Cody going to WWE.
Yeah.
Now,
But let's just
so
have fun with it. I have my tweaks with it. Let's have fun with it. And I think it's going to be a good time to see Cody. I do hope he comes out with Brandy. I know he won't, because she didn't sign and whatever. But, it's like, I kind of just want him with Brandy. I don't know. Anyway, I like your Triple H idea. We kind of no-sold Triple H announcing his retirement. And the
yeah, well,
reason I did that is because I never believed them, right? But
yeah,
I
well,
think
that's where I
Triple
think
H
the
is
work in
actually done.
lies. Like they
He's
did
very
this
sick.
for a reason. They did this for a reason at this time. Like it feels like, like why do it right before WrestleMania? Like I think that's how WWE operates. That they're implanting making Triple H relevant in your mind to because the impossible, because that's such a good moment to happen that if Triple H's music hits, Seth will be like, oh, like you can't wrestle anymore. You said you retire. What is this? Oh, you're not actually retiring? Of course, all you old men can never stay away. And he's like, nah. And if he brings out Cody, I think that's because everybody's expecting Cody to come out, right? Everybody's already like, oh, as soon as after Seth comes out, he's gonna find out in the ring. This is what they explain. They're gonna expect something to have. I don't know what's gonna hit. And if it's Triple H's music, then people are gonna be like, what? This makes no sense.
No, I know what's
And
gonna
then
happen. Tullo, here's what's gonna happen. Okay, the music will hit and the throne will appear, and it'll be someone on the throne with the mask on, right? And then, and then Rollins will be like, I don't want to wrestle this fucking guy, blah blah blah. Then Triple H will come out in the suit and be like, you're not wrestling me. You know what I mean? You're wrestling him. And then
sitting
mask
on the
off.
broken
It's fucking
throne.
Cody on the fucking throne. You know what I mean? With the he pulls the mask off, and then like it's Brandy with the fucking masquerade mask on. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I am rock hard right now. That's
You
incredible. We
think it's
got there.
yeah?
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. Triple H comes out in the suit, just being like, "Yo, I'm retired, man." You know what I mean?
Keep the frame far away. Don't zoom in on the face, like
Yeah,
of the guy sitting in the throne. Dude, that's money.
yeah, man. Also, yeah, wow. So that's cool. That's just what makes Saturday the night is that
Saturday
in the park.
in the park. Wish it was the 4th of July.
I think it was the 4th of July.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's gonna be sick. And then there's just a bunch of random matches. It's so strange. It's so strange how you do think where you're like Ricochet and Finn Balor, those guys should be on this card and they should be big deals. Like,
Yeah,
why is
especially
Finn
holding on
Balor
Saturday.
AJ not a match? Like that, like people be so pumped for that. There are things they could book that people would get into, especially if you're just throwing them together. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, a New Day versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Who cares about that? And then Usos versus Shinsuke and Boogs. You know.
Well,
You know. And then the main event, Charlotte versus Ronda, which is, it's a bummer because Ronda has just
yeah,
not
but that
hit
match
it all.
that match might have the potential.
It's gonna be sick. That match will be great.
Really awesome, especially
The match
main
will be
event.
great.
I think those two have been working their asses off.
So what do you think happens? We can get into like Charlotte versus Ronda, like who wins, blah blah blah. Who cares? Ultimately, at the end of the day, do you think that? What do you think they do? Do you think we see The Rock at the end of that match, the Reigns match? I think we do. I think The Rock comes out,
I think
goes
Roman
face to
is
face
winning.
with Roman. No, I'm
I
saying
think
Roman
Roman is
wins
winning.
clean, just
Yeah.
clean against Brock, and then I think The Rock comes out and they eye each other up, and you let people know like next year this is the match.
Hits Brock with the rock bottom. Brock with the rock.
No, I don't think they do anything other than eye to eye. Like, and you know what? Unless they do this, this is the way to go. Fuck, wrestling bookings. I'm not even saying I'm good at it. It only takes 4
Have him
seconds of
raise his
thought.
arm.
Yeah, you have Rock come out to put his arm up, and then Roman spears him, right? Because Roman's like now so full of himself. He's the head of the table. Like, there's only one guy above Roman right now. It's The Rock, and he wants to cut him down. It's classic mob shit, right? You have to have Rock come out, and he puts his hand up, and then Roman fucking bounces off. And by the way, if that happens, and the Cody thing goes down like that, you have yourself an amazing WrestleMania. Just with those two moments, really.
Stone Cold KO.
Yeah. Oh, that's just gonna be right. Just gonna be stunners and beers. That's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be pounding beers when that's going down for sure.
Yeah. I don't. You think they would? Yeah. I see why they booked it the way they did. Because I guess they're banking on the Seth Rollins Cody moment. They don't see it like. They got.
Could
If
be-
Rock's
it could
coming
be
out
co-
Sunday, they need.
The other
Maybe
thing could happen is
Rumble on Saturday.
Cody beats Seth, and then he shows up at the end of the match. Like, I'm telling you, man, give Cody that briefcase. It's the smartest decision they can make. He It's so he faces off with fucking
That's in
Roman. He's
Vegas.
like, I'm gonna
Fuck,
get
maybe
you.
I'll go to that, right?
It's
I
not
mean,
the worst idea.
it's a drive for me, So
Yeah, it's a quick flight for me.
that could be fun, right?
It's not the worst idea, but also the worst idea. Been very indifferent on things lately. This Will Smith thing really fucked me up, man.
Well, the thing was look, it was a big fucking deal, It's also it's like there's also an interesting element
Good.
of it, which is like there's
We're
a
good.
humanity. I'm saying there's people.
Bro,
They
we
make
have
people your idols. You go,
listen,
oh, this guy is that, and like everyone's just a fucking human,
think about this, right? It's
We're all flawed.
2022. It's 2022. We survived the pandemic. We're getting the Salami Boys full force in
Salami
Dallas.
Bros.
Salami Bros. Full force in Dallas. It's Sheb's re-release into the wild party because the last time he was on his bachelor party. So, we got an Airbnb. We have a show on Thursday. Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say we're back. We're back.
People keep saying we're back. Yeah, people keep asking if I'm back. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. What's that?
Yeah.
John Wick.
What's up? Oh yeah, we're back. We're better than ever. I'm going. Real quick. Let me just do this real quick. I want to read you.
Do it
real quick. The shows that I plan on attending this weekend. If it allows it on Thursday, would love to see at least some of Bloodsport. Spring Break Night 1 right after the Cow Show. LA Fights versus JCW. That's on Friday at 11 a.m. Straight into Trouble in Paradise 2, which is Zicky Dice's show at 1 p.m. Then at 3 p.m. on Friday for The Culture, which is GCW show. Then at 5 o'clock, an NGPW show. Then at 7 o'clock, ROH Supercard. And then at 11:59, Spring Break Night 2. So, I mean, Friday is insane. Then goes right into Saturday, Effie's Big Gay Brunch, straight to NXT Sound and Deliver at noon, Mission Pro at 3, and then WrestleMania Night 1 at 6:30. I am going to be destroyed on Sunday. I won't be able to function. That's like 12 shows in 3 days. But I'm also gonna
nuts.
I'm also gonna
I love that.
Pop
I love
in,
that.
leave. I'm gonna.
So it's interesting because Christina is coming down, to Dallas, and she's like not that excited for WrestleMania. She's like, I like wrestling, She's like, but I like PWG. Like I like the small events, And
she's gonna love the GCW stuff.
Because she doesn't get. So it's really interesting because it's like you show somebody WWE and like, and I get it. She watches it and she's like, Ronda Rousey, like, what is she talking about? Like what? And I can't defend like any of it. Like WWE, it's so hard. It's so hard. But I'm going positive. I want us to go. I want to finish my positivity rant. I love that schedule for you, Tullo.
Sick. There's so many amazing matches, dude. Like
Roman Reigns is like full on, Roman Reigns is like full on, pretty fucking good now. I mean, like
WWE,
I made him one of my guys.
Superstar to the max.
Yeah, I mean, I made him one of my guys a year ago now. You know what I mean? I did.
Really fucking pussyfooted around that one, dude.
I did it after Mania. He did it. It was because of the stacking.
No,
I stacked.
You went about it.
Remember, I said I would wait till right after Mania, because I wouldn't do what you're gonna do to Dom. Okay. And what I did to Alex Cole, and so Halo Cole, all right, Halo Cole or Happy Corbin, but so Roman Reigns, man, he was cutting promos, but he was almost making me laugh. He was like, "Yo, I'm at fucking Del Frisco's, getting all the sides." Like, do you see on Friday? He's going to Barclay like that, like almost make me laugh. And look, he's coming off like fucking cool as shit. It's good.
They're hyping him up too. They're putting him they're talking about Hulk Hogan, Bruno Sammartino, like they're talking about his reign and like they're building him up as that guy.
The
He's gonna
thing
be the guy in the movies.
I agree, but the thing with him is that he's not going like what they realized is like he's not gonna be John Cena, right? And that's smart of them to take that back and go like he does not have a certain thing. John Cena is a very talented guy. Like The Rock, those guys are very talented guys.
Yeah, but it took a while for them to get there.
Yeah, it took a while.
I think
They might get there.
I would say that this zone that Roman Reigns is in is
No, I mean, just he's not going to be like the super good guy. You know, he's not going to be that. Like he's way more comfortable in this zone that's like a little unlikable. You know, and I don't mean just heel. I just mean like he's an asshole. His character's like a complete asshole. And they try to avoid that when they're trying to make somebody like this the Superman, but he's closer to like a CM Punk, you know, than like a John Cena, is what I'm saying. And it's a better zone for him. And he's fucking really good at it. And it's probably more reflective of who he is. Whereas, to be honest, Brock Lesnar is shining as a babyface.
yeah.
And I think this is who he is now. I think he's a happy dad who likes his job, you know, and I think he really likes his life. Yeah, I think he's a genuinely like happy guy. And he's like a big country music guy, and I think he's really like likes the country lifestyle and like he's being himself. And I think it's interesting. You reversed the roles of these two and it never worked. And now it works when you have them in their authentic selves, you know? And so I think that's really fucking cool. And that's why I want Seth to be a heel.
I know what's gonna happen.
That's kind of an asshole. Like Seth and Cody are like kind of similar guys. They're both like kind of pretentious wrestling guys or whatever, you know?
Dan,
I wish they were doing that more.
I gotta interrupt. I know what's gonna happen. It's a title unification match, right?
Yeah.
The Rock's gonna come out with the new title and present it to Roman Reigns.
You think there's a new one?
They haven't talked about a new title. They're unifying titles. That means a new title has to come, right? And what better way to present it? Like AEW did with fucking Bret Hart coming out. Have The Rock come down, bring that thing out, present it to Roman Reigns. Roman takes it and then just fucking puts it up right in front of his face.
They don't need to even sell this match at all. Like just do that spear and then they don't have to talk to each other for a year.
They don't even have to get into an altercation. It would be dope if like he hands it to him and then he like puts it up in front of his face and then like turns his back on him, you know? I just hope that if they
Well, you know, it's interesting because it's like The Rock is such a beast. He is like in his 50s. So can you commit to a match a year out? I guess The Rock will do it, right?
Yeah, he'll be in the best shape of his life if he has a year to train for it.
Anyway, whatever. So look, at the end of the day, guys doing good jobs. We have some really good work. Brock and Roman both doing a good job. That'll be fun. They both feel fucking big time. I dig it. You know, Orton Riddle. I think that'll be a fun turn on Riddle moment, right? You know, they'll use that like the Shinsuke low blow. That'll be really fun. I think Knoxville Zayn will actually be kind of fun. Charlotte Ronda, I think, will be a match people talk about. I think that'll be the Bianca Sasha from last year.
That match is a tone setter, man. They got to end off on a high note to get people excited for Sunday night. Like, I think the pressure's on two pretty badass women, so I think they're gonna kill it.
Badass man. Seth Cody, sick. Then you have a bunch of just jabroni matches. New Day, Sheamus, Ridge Holland. Usos versus, I mean, I can't even believe they put these tag matches on the card. I mean, over just putting Finn and something. Drew, Happy Corbin, jeez. I guess this is a Logan Paul match, whatever. And then Becky Bianca should be pretty fucking good. Yeah. I think
I'm here for it, man.
Yeah, should
I'm
be a good
excited.
time. Anyway,
I'm
a lot.
going to WrestleMania.
Seth, why is he ever called Sethelmania?
Sethelmania.
He never called it Sethelmania, did he?
Rollins Mania.
Tullo, I will see you Thursday. Everybody, happy WrestleMania. I hope you guys are starting your own Thunderdomes, watching together. You know what I mean? Having a good time. Are
we bringing mics and stuff so we can do the traditional record after the shows kind of sessions with the Salami Bros?
Yeah. I'll talk to Shebs about that.
If you guys are the Salami Bros, what am I, like the lettuce?
Well, when we add somebody else to it, it always changes. So there's like the Gabagool guys and the Bologna boys, and there's all and the Martini boys. There's all
with
different
the with the
versions.
with the chicken
So
salad
I don't think we have
sandwiches.
a version with you yet, but we'll figure that out this weekend because we're gonna need a label for it. That'll be like the well. There's the pastrami boys, so this would have to be like the.
The falafel foursome.
It makes sense. It's not a meat, but it works.
Yeah, it's 2022, man. We're vegan.
But you're Italian though, so it
Yeah, the fettuccine foursome.
could be the fettuccine. The fettuccine. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Right now, as of now, it's the falafel foursome, I believe. And that'll probably stick because once you say the first thing, it sticks. DZ does Dallas.eventbrite.com. Get tickets for our show on Thursday. It should be a fucking good time in Dallas. 6 p.m. at the Fair Park Events Center where GCW The Collective is happening. It's between Bloodsport and Joey Janelle Spring Break. We're going to end the show between that. If you're on live for the meet and greet, there's a chance it runs over, but we're going to try not to. But it's in the same building, so you can pop back and forth. That should be a good time. And then patreon.com/comedians wrestling. Support the podcast. Get access to some new merch and our bonus episodes. And thank you for supporting the podcast. And Tullo, I'll see you Thursday. Everybody, happy Wrestlemania.
Let's
Keep
go,
watching
baby.
wrestling. Kisses. Cheers up.